Hello, everybody. I want to talk about getting through mentally tough times. Life is extremely difficult. If you're watching this, you may be going through something very difficult right now. And if that's not the case, I'm very happy for you. But as you know, there's always something coming around the next corner. So whether you want to prepare for future mentally tough times, or you want to know how to get through the tough times you're currently in, I'm going to tell you. This isn't magic per se. You really have to strengthen your physical and mental foundation. As I've said in other videos, your physical reality creates your mental reality. They are completely the same, they are connected. Mental health is physical health. When it comes to physical and mental preparation, the sentence, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," is going to apply. But I suggest you only take off little bitty bites at a time. If you take off too much, it's going to burn you out. You're going to have to recover for an extended amount of time, and then you're going to be de-incentivized of making yourself physically or mentally tougher in the future. So take little bites of challenge yourself physically and mentally. You want to willingly take on physical and mental challenges. With mental challenges, they call it exposure therapy, but I think it really applies to physical and mental strength. So on the physical end, you have some of the obvious ones, like you should be exercising. You should eat a reasonable diet. You're not going to be perfect in this world. We're humans, but really 80% to 20%, you should be trying to put really healthy foods in your body. You are what you eat. One fact I like to think about, the fats we consume, the macro fats, actually is fashioned into all the cells that make up your whole body. So if you eat bad oils or trans fats, you are literally making the building blocks out of your body with weak, flimsy fats. You will be less robust, you will be less physically strong, which then makes you less mentally strong. So you are what you eat. Also, hot and cold exposure comes to mind. Every morning, without negotiation, I get up and the very first thing I do is jump into the cold shower. Yes, it was hell at first. It hurt, I had to scream, I had to jump around, make noise. But what happened proves my point. After a couple weeks, instead of hell, it became uncomfortable and I just really disliked it. After a couple more weeks, I mostly adjusted to it. Then I didn't mind it, and eventually now, because it releases a lot of endorphins and dopamine, a lot of reward chemicals, I actually crave it now almost as much as my morning cup of coffee. There's a lot of health benefits I could get into here, but it really has made me more resilient physically, which translates to mentally. If you want to transition over to pure mental resiliency, I preach this a lot, but you really need to be meditating, be alone with your thoughts, even though it's uncomfortable. Allow yourself time for journaling. And I highly recommend therapy for most people, not everybody. But think of it, we have a PCP or a primary care physician assigned to us. And every year or 2 years, we go in for a physical. We make sure all of our physical moving parts are working. The mind is so important. Why don't we all have a primary therapist? And even if you checked in every quarter or every 6 months to just get a basic checkup, physical and the mental are so connected. This will build up mental resiliency as well. Highly recommended. To keep this video shorter, I'll just mention community is extremely important for your physical and mental resiliency. Whether you seek out a self-help group or you just go for your hobbies like martial arts or woodworking or gardening, bonding with folks with similar interests and beliefs is very good for support and mental resiliency. I like the sentence of a victory shared is doubled and a misery shared is cut in half. My final thought I'll leave you with, if you happen to be a person that is really struggling with a mental health situation right now, I just want to give you a thought of you're going to have to be very selfish for a little while. If you're a people pleaser or if you support a lot of people in your life, you're not going to be able to help anybody else if you're struggling. You only have 100 energy points to use a day, and you're going to have to allocate more of them to yourself. That may turn some people off, it may sound selfish, but it's a reality. Now, I'm not saying you want to stay there. You want to get to a stable point of working on your physical and your mental foundation to build your resiliency so that you can handle more of life's day-to-day stress and aggravation. As soon as you're solid in your foundation, you do want to move more of that energy out to others. Because at the end of the day, community, helping other people, serving other people is where you're going to find any meaning or purpose in this life. But temporarily, you're going to have to be real selfish and greedy. It's just a true and difficult concept to accept for some people. All right, everybody. So in the end, the only way out of a tough situation is through it. And to get through it, we have to be more resilient. We have to build up our physical and mental resiliency as they are the same thing. Hopefully, some of those tips helped you. I have to practice them myself. I wish you well and have a great day.